Hey, good morning everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own chili powder. Now, any spice mixture you make yourself is always going to be better. First of all, because the ingredients are fresh, there's no additives, no extraneous chemicals that you don't want in there. Plus, you can vary the proportions to suit what you want. Now, I'm going to show you a very basic one. Feel free to change any of the proportions to suit your taste. That's the whole point of making your own. So now I've got some dried chilies here, and I got some really nice oregano that I'm going to have to, separate by hand. But for that kind of flavor, it's worth the effort. And I've got some sort of run-of-the-mill spices and some sweet paprika, which is really important. And this beautiful, beautiful mortar and pestle, which was a gift from some really nice people I know. Here's the list of ingredients I'm going to start with. First thing I'm going to do is prepare the oregano. Now, I always wear gloves when handling spices like these. First of all, you absolutely need them for the chili. And secondly, for the garlic. I mean, think about it, right? This stuff is so good. If you get cute little jars, it's near the holidays coming up. This would make a very nice gift for people that love spicy food. So you could just, for a pretty reasonable cost, make up a whole bunch of these and just give them away. Okay? So, now the oregano is really tough because, as you can see, the good quality stuff comes out like this. You have to strip it, and then you have to eyeball it, so sometimes it's good to do more than you need. So once you have enough that you think you're going to need, what you do is just start stripping it by hand. And the gloves are actually pretty good for this too, because you really can get stuck with these sharp little spikes. Pulling doesn't actually work with this, it just breaks them. Kind of got to rub them between your fingertips like that. Okay, why, you may ask, am I going to all this work when I probably could just grind it up in there? This is the answer. If you've ever had a cheap spice mixture and they had one of those little sticks left in there and you got it stuck right in your gum, yeah, that's why this is worth the extra effort. Okay, so then you test it. Nice part about having gloves, just pick it up. Now this is going to get all ground up after. I'm just eyeballing this to see if I have enough. And I can already tell that it's going to make one very nice tablespoon of oregano, so I'll just leave that there for now and start on the chilies. Okay, so there is a nice trick to this. And what you do, get a separate bowl, snap the end off, discard it, turn it upside down, okay, and break it in half. Now all the seeds will come out, as well as this pith, okay? You don't want that stuff in there, okay? You just want the chili. Okay, so here we are. I got all these broken up. Now, if you're worried that you've lost too many bits with the seeds, just put another chili, right? Now, you could sieve this after if you wanted to once it's ground, but honestly, I like it the way it is, because if you're giving this stuff away and there's a few bits in there, well, it shows that you made it yourself, right? First thing to do is grind the chilies. Now, if you've never used a mortar and pestle, most people just start like this. The stuff flies everywhere, so what you're best to do is to begin with a pushing motion to kind of break things up. See that? Where you kind of grab it at the side and angle down. Okay? Now once all your big bits are broken up and you have a pretty good idea it's not going to fly everywhere, okay, then you start grinding. And keep a really good grip on this. If you're master class there, you can hold it with one hand, but you do risk dropping your lovely mortar, which you don't want to do. So just keep a good grip on the counter and do like that. At this point, you can keep grinding till it's a fine powder, or you can add the oregano, because what that does is, if you've got something with chunks, the powder at the bottom will hold this, and then the mixture of the two will help both of them grind better. Yeah, since that's all broken up to start off with, you don't need to worry about pushing it down like that. Now this is sufficiently ground that I can add the other spices. Now I just popped the cumin in there. You can mix it after each addition, that's fine. What I am pausing to show you this is after you use each one, just wipe it down with a dry paper towel because you'll end up mixing the flavors. Paprika tends to make a hideous mess, and if you, if you put too much in, it'll really give it a sharp flavor. So I tend to under pour on this, and even like 1.5 or just scant teaspoons are pretty good. Okay, so everything's in there. And at this point, you're just looking at mixing rather than grinding. Though a bit of grinding will occur, which doesn't hurt either. Now, depending on the recipe you're using, you may want to dry roast these first. I personally have found that just putting it in like this, as long as the quantity is not too large, right in the recipe works quite well. Once it's even, color-wise, you're done. Okay, so just transfer this to an airtight container, and I probably would try to use it within a few weeks. I mean, it's not going to go bad on you, it's going to lose its flavor. Okay, so that's how I make chili powder, and give it a shot. You'll really like it. And subscribe.